Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel, and a warm welcome to everyone for your continued support. Unfortunately, YouTube just won't let us talk about the election in any way, shape, format, or form. And so your guys' support, your likes, your shares, and your comments have been tremendous in helping out the channel. So I'm still leaning a lot on my shorts, but nonetheless, the long form, I still want to continue with long form to let you guys know what's going on, because this is the best way for me to communicate to you. From the Republic Brief, old school journalism you can count on. Kari Lake makes big announcement after new data emerges in her election. So this is going on now. Tomorrow will be 7 days. Among the races being decided by razor-thin margins is the gubernatorial race in Arizona. Nearly a week after the election, Arizona is unbelievably behind in ballot counting for a state of its size. Now, Republican Kari Lake is gaining on her Democrat opponent, current Arizona Secretary of State Katie Hobbs, after being slightly behind in early counts. Now, I want to make a correction here, as someone pointed out. Katie Hobbs is not the incumbent governor, but in fact, she is the Secretary of State, so I want to make that correction from Friday. Despite rumors that she has national attentions, Lake is focused on the current situation in her state of Arizona. On Election Day, Tuesday, Lake shot down reported rumors that she was considering becoming Donald Trump's 2024 running mate. It's important to note here that as this is going on, as we're seeing the Republicans taking the House and Nancy Pelosi leaving and perhaps investigations being launched, we're seeing Democrats make their moves. Now, as we talked about here on the channel, we said the Democrats aren't just going to sit back and allow for a red wave or whatever form of red flood or whatever red anything that was going to happen. We specifically said here on the BuzWeaver channel, the Democrats aren't going to sit back. The uniparty, the establishment uniparty, is not going to just sit back and allow that to happen. And a lot of you have commented, and I meant to focus on this last Friday, but we'll come back to it and revisit it. The American Spectator, maybe America hasn't suffered enough. The red wave washed ashore as a ripple. The Republicans did make progress, and they have. And this was of the SEC. It was on November 9th, so it was the night of at 2 o'clock in the morning. So things were looking good. Things had potential. However, we see here now, or as of this particular NBC News, that it's 50.5% and 49.5% for Kari Lake. So it is getting very, 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 very close. And we're going to jump over here to the AZ Central from Arizona. How many votes left to count in Arizona governor's race? Kari Lake versus Katie Hobbs nears final ballots. So we see here, with the nation's eyes on Arizona governor's race, among the highest profile contests this year, and one that is still too close to call. County officials continued the vote count on Monday, now with an end in sight. So the start of the first new work week. That's a mouthful, guys. After the election dawned, with Democratic candidate Katie Hobbs maintaining a lead over GOP challenger Kari Lake of just over 26,000 votes, or a single percentage point. About 160,000 ballots of over 2.6 million cast across the Grand Canyon state are left to count. So, getting very close. It's going to be interesting to see. If Kari can pull this off, I can only imagine the response that's going to come from the establishment uniparty. And it is quite extraordinary that this is all happening the way that it is. And as I go back to what I was saying here from the American Spectator, you guys are asking me, what in the world is going on? I would say that, as we've always said, you give the left an inch, they take a mile. You give the Republicans a mile, and they take an inch. Because the Republicans, being like the Mitch McConnells, hold on there, Democrats, slow down there, Democrats, as Tim Pool would say in a Mitch McConnell voice. It's just the way the Republicans operate, and the Democrats know this, because the Democrats are doing what they're doing because they get away with it. And it is extraordinary, and I want to point out these images. You know, how it started versus how it's going. So again, I say, as the Spectator said, have we not suffered enough? Have we just simply not suffered enough? Americans are very resilient. They're able to tighten their belts. They're able to stick it out and get through the difficulties, particularly after a pandemic. But I ask, people have to be getting gas. They have to be getting groceries at the minimum. At the minimum, they have to be doing at least that to know and feel what's happening. And to believe that the Democrats are suddenly going to turn this around all of a sudden, it's extraordinary. And now for Friday, from the from Fox News here posted on RNC Research, you can see that everything is still going up. Eggs, butter, flour, coffee, milk, fish, canned, frozen, turkey, potatoes, canned fruit, I should say. It's continuing to rise. So you guys have a very legitimate question. What is actually happening? You guys let me know in the comments section below how much of an impact fuel costs, grocery costs, your interest rates, your 401ks, your IRAs, how all this has impacted you, and maybe even what you lean toward in your voting. I know there's many here that are watching from foreign countries, and you're obviously suffering as well, because I hear it from the creators of the Lost History channel there in Scotland. I'm hearing about all the prices and stuff going on there. But I think it's going to be extraordinary. I would love to see a victory in Arizona, of course, just for me personally. However, as we do here on the BuzWeaver channel, we have to maintain some level of objectivity, despite the fact that I do give a lot of my own opinion here. And of course, people like to attack the fact that, oh, maybe I'm not dealing in facts and so forth and so on. Well, what I'm dealing in are the articles here in and of themselves. And yeah, I mean, I'm not perfect. I will make mistakes from time to time. However, I'll try to make those corrections as I did earlier today. So it is very fascinating, because I'd love to hear from you guys what you are thinking about what's currently going on in Arizona and what the intent here is. I will ask you politely and kindly, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe and follow across all the channels. Of course, YouTube being my largest one, is continuing to set us on limited ads. It's unfortunate, it's annoying, it's frustrating, because I'm sitting here on Twitter, able to speak as freely as I want to speak on Twitter, and yet we're still dealing with it on YouTube. It's quite unfortunate. But that's what I had for you guys today. Appearing there on the screen will be the channel icon for here if you're watching on YouTube. You guys can click on that to subscribe and support the channel, which is greatly appreciated, along with notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I will see all you guys in the next video.